Most people who try to break into high finance get rejected. Not because they're lazy, not because they're dumb, but because they keep making the same 4 mistakes. And the scary part, you're probably making at least one of them right now. Fix these and you'll flip rejection emails into offer letters. Miss them and you'll probably keep spinning your wheels. Let's start with the obvious one, technicals. If you can't handle these, you're done before the interview even warms up. Here's what usually happens. The interviewer says, "Walk me through a DCF," and suddenly your mind just completely goes blank. Or maybe you do have an answer, but it sounds kind of robotic or memorized, like you're reading from some sort of cheat sheet. And a small math mistake, it's over. The fix isn't cramming definitions, it's understanding concepts. When you can explain why a DCF works, not just what it is, that's when you stand out. And the only way to really get there is reps under pressure, mock interviews, time drills. You have to simulate the stress until it feels natural. But here's the kicker. Even if you crush the technicals, you can still fail because the next filter has nothing to do with math or Excel. I like to think of behaviorals as the silent killer.
I've mastered the DCF.
This is where strong candidates can suddenly look weak. They say things like, "I'm a hard worker," "I like challenges." They are generic, forgettable, or they just ramble, lose structure, or by the end, they're not even sure what story they just told. What works here is structure, clear, concise storytelling that makes sense under pressure. That's why we recommend the STAR method and something we call the 7 stories pillar inside Academy. It's a really powerful way to stand out. Situation, task, action, result. It's very hard to get lost. Basically, you're giving the interviewer a beginning, a middle, and an end. And when you have a proper story arc and tie it back to why you specifically belong in finance, suddenly your story has weight and, more importantly, authenticity. The goal isn't just to answer. It's to make them picture you on their team and come across as likable. Nail that and behaviorals stop being a trap or just a series of questions to get through, and they become your advantage. But even if you're polished and confident, you're still missing the single biggest factor that decides whether you'll ever sit in that interview room to begin with: networking. Here's the truth nobody likes to admit. Networking decides who even gets a shot in the first place. Most candidates do it completely wrong. They wait until the last minute once recruiting is about to kick off and applications are open. They blast a bunch of generic LinkedIn messages and cold emails. They don't follow up properly, and they treat networking like a transaction. So now that I've asked you some generic questions about your career from a preset list of questions I got from ChatGPT, can you please give me a referral to the open job at your firm? Yeah, no, don't do that. The ones who win focus on building real relationships. The students networking wrong see the referral as the end goal. The students doing it right know there are 3 other reasons why every call helps boost their odds. Number 1, it makes the applicant more comfortable talking to strangers and asking good questions. Proper follow-up questions and centering the conversation around another person's journey. In other words, becoming a better conversationalist. Number 2, it allows the applicant to practice their teammate or tell me about yourself in a more informal setting. Both of these skills are critical for interviewing and networking for their entire career. Finally, the best networkers understand that each call gives them inside knowledge about the firm and specific groups they can use in later interviews, even at other firms, to demonstrate market knowledge and genuine interest. So even if no referral happens from an informational interview or coffee chat, you still won. And they are still valuable if you're approaching them correctly with that frame of mind. This actually reminds me of one of our students that went to culinary school prior to going to uni. And because he was interesting and a better conversationalist than most, he had the most insane conversion rates I've ever seen across thousands of students inside WSO Academy. It was something along the lines of 50 coffee chats, led to 19 first-round interviews and 10 plus super days. Just insanity. That's the power of networking properly. But even with strong connections, one thing that will get you tossed before you even get a chance to prove yourself: your resume. It's the ultimate filter, and most people never even realize it's ruining their chances. Think about it. A banker gets hundreds, if not thousands of resumes. They're skimming, not reading. If yours is too long, filled with fluff, or doesn't scream results, it's gone in under 30 seconds. The fix? Make it sharp and measurable. Don't say, helped with a project. Say, Increase deal efficiency by 30%. Don't stack irrelevant jobs. Highlight case competitions, modeling work, anything that proves you can actually do the work. A resume isn't your life story. It's a sales pitch. And when you frame it that way, you stop being overlooked and start being picked for interviews. Breaking into high finance isn't about luck. It's about eliminating the mistakes that quietly kill most candidates. So just ask yourself, are you going to keep hoping? Or are you finally ready to fix what's holding you back? Good luck.